The Precinct is a cop game set in the 80s, and you play as Nick Cordell Jr., a rookie cop trying to figure out who killed his dad, while of course also doing regular police work. The game puts you in the city called Averno, and you are driving around in your car, handling whatever comes up. It could be something small, like giving out parking tickets, or something more serious, like a high-speed chase or a bank robbery. The city has a pretty cool vibe, with neon lights and rainy streets. Now you have quite a few options how to approach things. You can of course try to take them down yourself, as is your right, but you can also call in backup, for instance to set up roadblocks or lay down spike strips. The game has a story, and all characters I have seen so far have pretty decent voice acting, which honestly surprised me.
Every single one of you took an oath to protect this city, its residents.
The game's world is set to be a sandbox, so you will encounter all kinds of crimes, of which there is a massive list in your handbook, along with the authorized force level, and also all the approaches and actions you can and should perform. Even if you're just looking at the parking system, there are 6 different parking violations, so there is a bit more to this than you would expect at first glance. The driving was pretty bad on mouse and keyboard, but felt surprisingly good on a controller. This includes the character and camera movement as well, so this game, yes, it is best played on a controller.
484, be advised, suspects are heavily armed. Approach with caution.
Okay, kid.
While civilians usually try to jump to the sides, you can very much drive over them as well. Sometimes this will result in a mission failure, but sometimes it is tolerated. In any case, it is cool that you have to pay attention while driving, since it is not guaranteed that civilians will successfully evade your vehicle. You have a partner that rides with you and helps you out, and you can call in other cops, or some heavily armed officers if things get especially hairy. Now I tried exploring a bit off the beaten path to see what you can possibly do in the full game, and it seems as if you can interact with pretty much all pedestrians and vehicles if you want. That of course doesn't automatically mean it is permitted, so if civilians feel harassed, you may get into trouble. I haven't seen too much of the combat, but the shooting felt alright to me, while the melee combat was pretty unresponsive. For some reason, whenever I pressed the attack button, half the time nothing happened at all, so either this needs fixing, or perhaps it's just a skill issue on my end. Of course, you can't just attack or arrest anyone for any crime. Your boss will not be happy with you if you apply lethal force to a suspect, just because he draws some graffiti on a wall. Just to be clear, this is purely single player and does not feature co-op or mod support. There's also no character creation at launch, but what you can do is unlock different police vehicles. It's also worth mentioning that no, you cannot be a corrupt cop or something. There is a conduct system that will get you in trouble if you break too many rules, but as far as I have seen, they are not super strict about this, because the developers still want to keep the fun arcade feel. This game should release sometime in Q4, so we shouldn't have to wait much longer. And that sentence concludes today's video. If your time was respected, a like or comment is very much appreciated.